Hello and welcome back to another week of Open Mic Night. Got a great show for you tonight. We are going to talk about the iOS beta updates and what you guys can expect to see come fall when it applies to your phone. And we are also going to talk about the ABC versus Aereo Supreme Court ruling. And I'm going to tell you guys what I think about that. So stick around. It's going to be a really fun show. All right, so like I said, welcome back to Open Mic Night. I decided to stream tonight, decided to head up to my winter cabin in Colorado and stream for you guys. I am totally joking. I don't have one of those. I wish I did, but I was scrolling through my YouTube page and I was looking at all my videos and I noticed that every single one of them has the same backdrop. It's me at my desk with the same old boring backdrop. So I figured I have the technology. Why not have myself be in a nice winter cabin? So this is my this is my winter cabin I chose. I know it's something silly, something fun, but something just to spice up the show and get rid of the boring old background. So maybe I'll be coming to you guys from a different spot around the world each week. I don't know. That's my idea. We will see where it goes, but that's at least for now what I'm thinking. I want to start off again this week giving you guys an update on my life, what I've been up to. I got a lot of positive feedback actually on that. People they say, hey, I like kind of the update on your life. I kind of like seeing it. So what happened actually this weekend has been kind of the common occurrence for me this summer. My fiance and I attended a fantastic wedding. Congratulations to Abby and Troy. And we have been to wedding after wedding after wedding this weekend, and they're not done yet. We have plenty more, but that's not a bad thing. I love weddings. And so here was just a quick picture of my fiance and I enjoying the evening. It was here in Omaha where I live, and so it was a great time. It's one of Hannah's really good friends from school. It was just an overall great time. You know, my fiance and I are big dancers. We love, getting out there on the dance floor. And, I called her, I think I tweeted or posted or something about that, about her being my partner in crime on the dance floor. And it's so true. Her and I just pretty much are always out on the dance floor weddings, and we love it. And so weddings are just a fun event for me. And with Hannah and I planning our wedding coming up, we have been kind of just talking about what we want to do for our wedding, what we kind of want to see. And it got me kind of thinking about wedding technology. I've been to a lot of different weddings, and they have, a lot of weddings nowadays have a hashtag. And so when people are posting their pictures on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, they can put a hashtag, and then the wedding couple can, later, when they're going through photos and stuff like that, can look up that hashtag and see all the fun stuff. And so a lot of weddings have had that, but I haven't seen too many of the people at the wedding actually remembering to use the hashtag. So what my question to you guys, I'm actually asking you guys for advice, is I am planning the wedding, and obviously being a tech guy, I want to have some really cool technology at my wedding. Maybe a projector that posts photos throughout the night of people actually taking photos and using a hashtag or something like that. So if you guys, I know I got a few suggestions from family members about great apps or websites to use for people posting photos and statuses and stuff during the actual wedding and the reception. But if you guys have any of those, let me know. I've only heard of about one or two. So let me know if you guys have any wedding technology that you guys think I should know about, because I have plenty of time to implement it and I really want to. It's going to be kind of, I'm known as the nerd. All my friends know it, so they'd be totally cool with me throwing some really nerdy cool stuff in my wedding. So that is that. That's what I've been up to this weekend, and then in a couple weekends, and then a couple weekends after that. I think I have a total of 6 weddings this summer, if you include all the way to September. So we have quite a few. I'm at that age where all my friends are starting to get married, so it's kind of crazy but kind of fun at the same time. I promised you guys a puppy update on Petey. I told you guys last week, if you guys missed it, Petey is my new puppy, and he is just so much fun. So here is Petey. Here's a newer photo of him. That's him riding the car. He really, really likes to ride in the car, but actually he rides in the back seat of my car now. We have a little dog hammock for him that he gets to sit in, and he just loves it. And then here, let's see here, was another one. We are dog sitting one of our families, not one of our families, one of our friends' dogs. And when they're not wrestling around having a good time, they're napping together. And I just thought that was a really cute photo of of him and the little Shih Tzu puppy. Also, that little Shih Tzu right there is about, I want to say 3 months old. So she's very young too. So they have a lot of good times together. And it's been a fun weekend because we've had her all weekend, and sadly she's going home tomorrow, but it's been a really good time having her over, and Petey loves it. I don't know if Petey's going to have any fun when she leaves. But that is an update on my life, just a quick little tidbit about me. But let's start getting into the stuff that you guys want to talk about. The news, right? What's going on in the news? And today in the news, the first story I'm going to cover is what is happening with the iOS 8 updates, the betas. So right now there's a beta out for the newest iPhone software that's going to come out to the rest of us in the fall. And there's been a lot of cool updates on what is actually in this update and what is actually working. And so these betas, how it works is they kind of add the features in throughout all the betas. So all the features that they talk about at the keynote aren't necessarily going to be in the first beta. So they've been rolling them out. So some of the updates that have come out so far, the newest one for this beta 3 is the Wi-Fi calling. And so if you have T-Mobile, I believe T-Mobile right now is the only one that is using it, but I'm sure all the other carriers will start to. But if you have one of these betas and you have T-Mobile, you're starting to see that you have the ability to make a phone call off of Wi-Fi instead of using your cell signal. Now, at first, some of you guys might be wondering how that's even useful, but I'll give you one use case for it. For me, at my law school, the building is a huge old concrete building, and I get like 0 cell service in there. And so if I'm in between classes and need to make a call, it's not possible. Now, obviously, I'm on Wi-Fi in the building, and so my data works, my iMessage works, which is great. But now I can actually place a call using the Wi-Fi, which will be great. And, so it's just one of those things that will be a use case for some people. A lot of you might not use it, but it's going to come in handy. Also for people who live in homes, maybe out in rural areas that do not have good cell service. Or for me, in my case, in my apartment building, I'm kind of in the middle. And so, the cell service is kind of spotty in here just because of all the surrounding, Wi-Fi signals and all just the noise around here, plus the building structure. I don't get good signal here, so I'll be glad to use it in my apartment as well. So the Wi-Fi calling is something that I think will be great. And that was something they just added into the beta 3. The other thing they added was, if you guys watch the keynote or if you listen to me give my top kind of things about iOS 8, is the Health Book. So the HealthBook app has gotten a major update in beta 3. The HealthBook app is going to be an app that you can use to bring in all of your health statistics. Now, usually what people thought was this is going to bring in things from like a Fitbit armband or a Nike Fuel Band or any sort of device that you wear that tracks, your steps or your heart rate and stuff like that. Well, we saw it actually in the beta 3 update that HealthBook itself, just with the phone, can track how far you're walking, your steps. It uses GPS and kind of the motion sensors in the phone to figure all that stuff out. And the people who have been using it have been saying it's actually pretty accurate. They compared it to some of the other apps that are on the phone that are available for health tracking and stuff like that. And they said that it actually is really good and useful. And I'm glad to see this because I personally do not have any of those devices. I don't have a Fitbit. I don't have anything that really tracks my steps or my heart rate, anything like that. But if I can just have just the basic stuff on my phone already without buying another device, that would be fantastic. I would really like that. So that is going to be a great update to iOS beta. And so we are going to see quite a few more betas rolled out before what's called the Golden Master, the GM, which is eventually what we end up getting in the fall. So we'll probably see this sometime, I would say in September or October, which will be the release to the public. We'll see a lot more betas, so I'll kind of give you guys updates each week whenever there's a new beta out and let you guys know what's going on, what cool features I think that you guys are going to actually use. But the Wi-Fi calling and the Health Book are two things that I really thought were extremely useful. But there was one more that I thought was even more useful. And when I talked to you guys about the WWDC keynote and iOS 8, I talked about how apps are now able to talk to each other. Apple has been known to be kind of a closed ecosystem where everything is kind of sandboxed. One app doesn't really talk well to other apps. And that was one feature that Android actually has that people like about Android. If I have all my apps in Android talk to each other, I can open a photo in any of these other apps. I can, do location, data with everything. It just all kind of talks together. Well, Apple in the WWDC keynote said that, hey, we're going to actually allow our apps to talk to each other now. And with Beta 3 and some of the apps being updated, we're starting to see some of the features of those apps being able to talk to each other. And I'm going to give you an example right now. The most exciting part of the Beta 3 for me was they announced that when you are looking up something in Apple Maps, I personally do not use Apple Maps too often, but when I'm using Siri, if I ask Siri to find something or I've asked Siri to give me directions to certain places, or even if it's just if I'm doing anything else in Apple, it opens the Apple Maps. Well, once I have that location in Apple Maps, let's say I ask Siri to find me the closest pizza place, and it finds it in Apple Maps, they actually have the feature now to open that location in a different Maps app. Whatever it is you use. Is it Google Maps? Or for me, for my directions, I use Waze, which, by the way, if you guys have not checked out Waze, W-A-Z-E, it's kind of a social sort of trafficking app where you start, you can report that there's a cop on the road or that there's construction. So it's very accurate at times, so check that out. But the point being is that now my Apple Maps talks to those other apps. Usually what I would have to do is I have to find that, hit the pin, copy the location, copy the address, open my other app and paste it in. But now it's just going to be one tap away. You're going to set that location, find it, and then open it in whatever other Maps app that you use. So that's just one example of how these apps are going to be able to talk to each other, but one that I thought that I'm actually going to use all of the time. My day job actually requires me to drive all around my city, and a lot of times it's to places that I have not been before, so I am constantly using my phone for directions, and so this will be a huge update for me, and it'll save me a lot of time and hassle of, I guess it's not hassle of copy and pasting, but it'll save me some time with the whole copy and paste thing. So those are all the beta updates that I wanted to give you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy them, and like I said, I will keep you up to date each week leading up to the full release of iOS 8 when it comes out in the fall. So before I get to my next story, I want to talk to you guys about something. Have you guys ever bought razors to shave with? Of course you have. Most of us have bought razors to shave. But it is a hassle. First of all, you got to drive to the store. Then you got to find the right aisle where they are. And then there's a massive selection. Now they're locked up. You actually have to get a manager to come unlock the case for you to get your overpriced razor. Have you guys seen the prices? They're like $25 for a razor technology that you guys are never going to use and don't need. The newest technology is this whole pivot ball technology where it pivots to your face. I have a wrist and an arm for a reason. This all pivots. I can do it myself. I don't need to pay $25 for razors that don't even cost them that much to make. Well, I have a solution for you guys, and it is DollarShaveClub.com. DollarShaveClub.com covers all of your shaving needs. What they do is they mail you this nice little box, and you get it every single month or every 2 months if you want, and it has everything you need to shave. So what do I use? Let's look here. I use what's called the 4X blade. The 4X blade has 4 razors on it and an aloe vera strip, and it is fantastic. I don't cut myself with this razor, and I honestly believe that this razor is better than a lot of the top brands that I have tried before, and it comes with this solid metal handle. I mean, this thing is solid. It will not break. But so DollarShaveClub.com is just going to give you guys solid razors. They are fantastic. So here are the razor options right here. And you can see that this one right here cost me $6 a month, and it shipped right to my door. Right to my door. I don't know why I didn't go with them before I did. I've actually been a user of them for about 2 years, and I still can't believe the price. So for $6, not 20, not 15, not 10, 6, I get these razors, 4 of them delivered to my door every single month. But I don't stop there. The next thing I use is the Dr. Carver's Shave Butter. Dr. Carver's Shave Butter is the best shaving cream I have ever used. It goes on clear. It's actually really, really good on sensitive skin, which I do have. And I don't get those annoying little razor bumps. I don't get any of that when I use the Dr. Carver Shave Butter. It's fantastic. And all these things you can add in whenever you need them, and they'll come in that box still right to your door, in the same box that your razors come in. But after I shave, after I use the Dr. Carver Shave Butter, I continue on with the Dr. Carver's Shave Post-Shave Lotion. This lotion keeps my face hydrated for the next 24 hours. I actually look forward to shaving the next day just so I can use that lotion. Sometimes I even use it on my hands. I mean, it's that high quality of lotion. Keeps you moisturized. A great post-shave lotion. And if you guys don't want to stop there, they do offer one more item that I want to point out to you guys. They are called One Wipe Charlies. One Wipe Charlies are for men to use in the restroom. They keep you fresh and clean after going to the restroom, and that's simply a great feeling, I gotta tell you. I had never thought I would use something like that, and I started using them, and they are simply phenomenal. So that is DollarShaveClub.com. I would not promote anything. Honestly, guys, I would not promote anything on this show that I have not fully tested and fully approved of. I have been a member of Dollar Shave Club for just about 2 years now, and I love them. They are fantastic. There's simply no reason to go to the store and pay for overpriced razors. I can't think of any. The razors are overpriced, which is one, you got to drive to the store. These come right to your door, and they're even better quality. Like, there's really no reason to not try them out. So head over to dollarshaveclub.com/WegerTech, WIEGERTECH, and try them out today. And honestly, I think you guys will love them. There's no reason not to try them. So let's move on to the next story here. The next story is the ABC versus Aereo Supreme Court ruling. Obviously, ABC being the American Broadcast Corporation, and they are suing Aereo. Now, if you guys don't know what Aereo is, Aereo was a startup that what they did was they said, okay, I have an antenna in my home that can pick up signals to watch the local TV channels. Now, for a lot of people in big cities, especially when you live in apartment complexes in big cities, let's say New York, antennas aren't really possible with all the buildings and stuff like that. And so wouldn't it be great if you could watch those shows on your computer online streamed through the internet? So what they did was they rented out in a huge warehouse, and they have little dime-sized antennas. So each person, if you subscribe to Aereo, to their service, you are renting out your own dime-sized antenna. Their reasoning for this is pretty much basically all we're doing is providing a really long extension cord to your antenna. Because we connect you through the internet to your own personal rented out dime size antenna. It picks up what's being broadcast over the air that you would be getting for free normally, and it broadcasts it to you so you can actually watch it. Now, ABC, all their problems was that this violates their copyright, that Aereo technically needs to be paying rebroadcasting fees to rebroadcast what this copyrighted material that these companies own. Now, if you guys know how cable companies work, that's how a cable company works. Cable companies pay rebroadcasting fees to the people who own the copyright to distribute their show. And so ABC was saying that Aereo is no different than any other cable company. That's what they're doing. And Aereo said, no, everyone, they have their own dime-sized antennas. We're pretty much just a long extension cord. That's what we are. But what the Supreme Court ruled was that, yes, this is a public performance, and that Aereo, you are acting like a cable company. Now, this was a 6-3 decision, and it was delivered by Justice Breyer. He was the one who delivered the opinion of the court. And they talked a lot about the Copyright Act of 1976, and basically how, when all this was happening, these cable companies originally were kind of doing the same thing Aereo was doing. They were setting up, a big antenna on top of a hill, getting it and taking it to the houses. It's kind of what they were doing. And they're saying that Aereo, you are pretty much doing that exact same thing. So yes, you need to be treated kind of like a cable company. So that's the case. That is pretty much the synopsis, is that Aereo, technically, yes, they did lose and they do need to be treated like a cable company. But the funny thing is, now Aereo's like, yeah, sure, we're a cable company. Here, ABC, take our rebroadcasting fees. And they're like, and they don't want Aereo to be there. Pretty much what this was all these big corporations don't want Aereo around. The cable companies don't want Aereo around. And it's kind of lopsided against Aereo. And so we'll start to see in the next coming months what Aereo does. If they do end up paying these rebroadcasting fees and they stay alive, they were charging $8 a month for their service, which I thought was actually pretty good. If I didn't have cable, or if I lived in an area like New York, I would have easily paid $8 a month to be able to watch this TV through my computer. I thought it was great. But that was pretty much the case. And so what do you guys think about this? Was this the right ruling? Do you think the Supreme Court got it right? I think they did. As much as I love technology and innovation, I think it's great. I don't think this stifles the innovation at all. I think Aereo did find a loophole, and they exploited it for a while, and they used it. And loopholes are there, and they used it. And so I don't think they were out of bounds until now. They were found to be that, yes, technically you were acting out of bounds, and so they need to be brought back in bounds. And so, but I think this shows how technology is going to work in the future. We're going to have these advances. We're not going to know how to react to them. And then, our courts are going to have to decide for us kind of what's going on. Let me know what you guys think about this whole ordeal. Leave a comment, start a little comment war down this video. I would love nothing more than to get a bunch of people just commenting back and forth, arguing both sides, for ABC and for Aereo, on what you guys think. I don't know. As much as I say, yes, I think they got it right. I do love Aereo, and I think it's fantastic. And I love people who go out there and stretch the limits and start these new companies, because that is how innovation works, and that is how innovation happens. And if anything, this is just going to push those cable companies more and more to offer their stuff over the internet and change the way they charge us. We all hate how we have to pay for cable and have to pay for all this stuff. And companies like Aereo starting up, even though, yes, they may have lost this court case, it's still pushing the cable companies to have to change the way they're doing things. It's furthering innovation. It really is. No matter what outcome the case took, this is still going to encourage innovation and make the cable companies change the way they do things. So I thought it was great. But the next thing that this sparks is, does the Copyright Act need changing? It's called the Copyright Act of 1976. Does it need to be updated? Do we need a Copyright Act, of 2014 or 15? And there are rumblings through the community that yes, there are changes in the works, and there are going to be tweaks, there are going to be modifications, things are going to change. And this is exciting for me because I'm glad I haven't taken the copyright class yet. That's a 2L and a 3L course at my law school, so I haven't taken it yet. So hopefully it changes before I get to it so I can learn the most current stuff. But I'm excited about it because I think it does need to change. Obviously, we have a bunch of technological advances that don't really fit with, first of all, copyright and patent and how they're all working right now. So I think we will see a large shift in copyright and patent both in the coming years as Congress, as everyone tries to get on board and see how we're going to adapt to all these advances in technology. And I think it's only a good thing for us. And I think it'll really help out companies and help out people in general. I just think it's an overall great thing. So props to you, Aereo. Good job for going out there and stretching the boundaries. And hopefully you stay alive and, just pay your rebroadcasting fees. And I think people will still use you. Honestly, I think it's still a good thing. So even if you had to up your rates a little bit, I think it's good. So those are the two news stories I had for you guys. But I do have a tip of the week this week. And the tip of the week comes from I have family members, I have friends who are always going over their data limit on their cell phones. And I guarantee this sounds familiar to you. Luckily, I have Sprint, and so I don't have a data limit. I have unlimited data, which is fantastic. Some of you I know are grandfathered in on some of your plans when you had the unlimited plan back in the day, which is awesome. But for most people, they have a data cap. A lot of times it's as little as 2 gigs, and people are constantly going over their data and getting charged a lot of money to do so. I know for my fiance and her brother and her sister are all constantly keeping in commission. Hey, we're almost close to our data cap. We're almost close. Stop using your data. Well, I have one little tip for you guys to help control your data. Now, this is going to be on your iPhone. So if you don't have an iPhone, I'm sorry for this tip of the week is for my iPhone, and it usually is. But the tip of the week is to go into your settings on your phone. So go on your iPhone, go in the main settings screen, and you're going to scroll down to cellular. There's a cellular option. And under that cellular option, if you scroll down far enough, you'll see Use Cellular Data For. And what it is, it's a list of all your apps. And by default, they are all usually turned on. So these apps can use your cell data. So what I suggest to people is I say go in and turn some of the big ones off. So some of the big ones that I have found are Facebook and the App Store. Now, usually I don't tell people to turn Facebook off because a lot of people are using Facebook on their, when they're out and about, when they don't have Wi-Fi, and they want to do that. It's very important to them. But what turning these things off does is it's kind of a reminder to you, because what it's going to do is it's going to say, hey, I can't upload, I can't do anything right now, I can't get your data because you told me only when you're on Wi-Fi to use this app. And Wi-Fi is great. So for guys who don't know, if you guys have one of these phones, when you're on Wi-Fi, that's not counting against your cellular data. So go crazy on your Wi-Fi. Hopefully, when you're at home, when you're at school, work, and you have Wi-Fi, go crazy because that's not counting against it. But what this does on what I suggest to people is for the App Store. For me, I don't need really to be downloading an app, searching for new apps, or updating my apps when I'm not on Wi-Fi. And that is a huge killer of data. Those apps can be upwards of 250 megabytes, which can be sometimes a little, like, it could be a quarter of your data plan right there downloading one app, and people just don't know that. And so but what you can do is, when you turn that off, the App Store will tell you, I can't do this when I'm on Wi-Fi. Now, if it's a moment where you really do need to get an app or you really do need the update, you can just go in and back and turn it on. But it's a reminder to people. A lot of times people forget, or they just don't think to check, hey, am I on Wi-Fi or am I on my cell service? Am I going to be using my data? And so this just is a physical blocker for you. So when you open up your app, you're like, oh, shoot, yes, I'm not on Wi-Fi. I should not be downloading this app. I shouldn't be getting this update. And it'll save you, I guarantee it'll save you data on your monthly data plan, and it'll save you in the future. There's also a lot of other apps in there, depending on what apps you guys have, that could be sucking your data and you guys don't even know it. I'm just trying, people who stream music a lot and they're like, oh, I don't even need to use that feature when I'm not on Wi-Fi. Streaming music, streaming videos, YouTube, all those are huge data suckers. They will suck your data right down. So go in and turn off what you think works for you. I went in and on my fiance's phone, and I was thinking about I'm going to turn off the App Store one because, that's just not needed. But, some of the other ones that you do need, keep them on. Obviously, you have data for a reason, and you need to use it. But that is just my one little tip for you guys on how to save some cell data usage on your phone and hopefully save you guys a little money on your monthly bill. So, if you guys want to see any of my other shows, head on over to WegerTech.com. There I have all my tutorials. I have all my open mic nights. I have pretty much everything. This show is actually available in podcast form, like an audio podcast that you would just listen to in the car or while you're running or something like that. I don't know when you would listen to it. But there's a link on that website to subscribe on iTunes, or you can go into any other mobile podcast app and just search for Uyghur Tech or Open Mic Night, and you guys should be able to find it right there. Email me with any questions. I really encourage that. Mike@WegerTech.com, WIEGERTECH.com. That is where you guys can get a hold of me best. So I do get quite a few emails there, so if I don't get back to you within 24 hours, I'm sorry. One way, though, you guys can get to me right away within the hour is if you become a patron. Becoming a patron is a way that you can support my show. So there's a website, and it is patreon.com, patreon.com/WegerTech. And if you go there, you guys can donate to me on a monthly basis to pretty much support the show and keep it running. So for me, I have, monthly expenses, like the website is $20 a month, and that is my first goal, is to have $20 a month from patrons. So from you guys, it can be as little as $1 a month. For a candy bar a month, you guys can support me. Obviously, all my shows are going to stay free, and I love you no matter what. This is just for those of you who feel that you want to give back, and I truly, truly appreciate it. I have 2 patrons right now, and they are the best. And when you become a patron, you actually get, if you give me $1 a month, just one, you get access to my VIP email address. So I give you a special email address that you guys can send emails to, and I respond to those within the hour, as long as it's not like in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping. But within the hour, during time when I'm awake, I will promise to get back to you within the hour. So if that sounds appealing to you, become a patron. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed the show. If you do, if you could please, please, please click the like button down below. It really helps me out. Subscribe to this channel because that is how you will see all my new content. Subscribing on YouTube is actually the easiest way for you to see my content. And it really helps me out. The like helps, and the subscribe button really helps me out. So if you guys like this, hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, but until I see you guys next week, tech on.